think I have a very intimate relationship with water because I'm primarily composed of it. But I do think water is one of the great mysteries.
The sea, that black vastness, coupled with your imagination of the sea, and the fact that the sea has all these creatures that are from other planets, the vastness of the sea out there, sea monsters, and the dark. You're right against it, you know what I mean? We're right against it.
I have to say, I don't really like the idea of what's below. I find it a bit kind of like, ooh, it's like I think about how deep am I, or is there going to be kind of, because I do swim quite a way out, but I have to say the further out, it's almost like testing myself or something like that. It's like, go on, like how far can you go?
You enjoy being buoyed up by it, but of course with every swell there's always a little dip at the other side, so that's something that you always have to check for and be aware of.
Oh, that's too clever for me, all of that stuff.
How is water water? It's an eternal mystery that every time I look at it, it just completely amazes me. It behaves unlike any other material that we've got on the planet. It has a property that nothing else has, which is a form of quantum coherence. But water seems to have the quantum coherence field moves outside of the molecule, and the water can be seen to be acting as a whole. And this is extraordinarily unusual.
I think it's a great medium. It supports you. It's fun. It's a beautiful environment to be in. So for me, I love water.
I don't love water. I'm scared in the water.
I was scared of the sea because it was really big, and I was really little, and it was just really huge, and it was cold, and it was unpredictable, and you'd get splashed and knocked over, and I got dumped a few times by the waves, and I didn't like that at all, not one bit, and it would all be in my eyes, and no, it wasn't very nice. But once I'd learned to swim, I was much happier, and now I always go swimming in the sea now.
I like swimming because you can lose yourself, you can be on your own, you have more space. It's nature, it's nice.
When I'm swimming on my front, I haven't still learned the technique of tilting my head to the side and taking in a breath. I take in a lot of water. That's the way it is. Seriously, I drink so much water that I think it's a danger to others.
Bobbing around in the sea.
I don't like bobbing around
in the sea. Yeah, I used to like bobbing around in the sea, put it that way, when we were younger, but I don't go now, so.
I'm an excellent swimmer, and I've got loads of badges, and I've won a few competitions. I've got life-saving awards and all sorts of badges.
I'd like to have something that kind of unfold out of your nose like a periscope. Like a periscope, so that when you went swimming, you could just shoot this periscope up, and you could just get air the whole time. That would be great. It'd have to be very long though, wouldn't it? Because if you're going 20 foot down or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a dualistic relationship with the ocean that I'm absolutely thrilled by and energised by it, but I'm made nervous by its immensity and its depth.
When you've been down, it's really deep down in the sea, it's when you're diving, and then you come up too fast. I think you get an air bubble in your head, and it decompresses your brain.
If I go too deep, you can have headache, or So that's the thing about diving, It's not as free as people think, I think.
I don't like the idea of being underwater for too long. About a minute is long enough for me. As long as I can hold my breath and I want to be out of there.
If you get the bends, it can be quite narcotic. You can get a kind of narcotic effect. You don't know which direction you're going in, you don't know which is up or down, you don't know how long you've been in the water, you can't regulate yourself anymore. And I think it's it's really, really dangerous.
I've had altitude sickness, which is like the opposite, isn't it?
There's only a certain depth you can go to, isn't there, without your head exploding.
I think the sensation of lying on water and having the waves take you up and down is a very primal experience, and it's saying to me, you are tiny and insignificant, and I can sweep you away.
I've got severe motion sickness. I mean, it used to be pretty bad. I used to puke all the time, but now it's a bit better. And it's not a pleasant experience for me personally, no.
I don't like jellyfish at all. They frighten me. Don't like being stung by anything. Bees, wasps, jellyfish, any of that stuff. I don't like it.
No, there's nothing that scares me in the sea. Only the obvious floaty things which shouldn't really be there, to be honest.
I love the sea and I love swimming in the sea. I think the sea is really scary, man. It's a whole another universe in the sea, man. The sea is a big thing. All kind of things. And the thing is, actually, when you're in the sea, it's really interesting, that thing. When you kind of dive into the sea and you get in there and you go out there, you realise as a being, the being that you are, the species that you are, is you have suddenly fallen very rapidly down the food chain. You are no longer the dominant species. You are suddenly food.
I'm not afraid of anything because I gave up fear, but nothing scared me at all until somebody told me I should watch out for the sharks.
I'm okay with sharks. They have such a bad reputation. Everybody had them. I don't know why. They are quite nice.
I just don't really like the idea of feeling like even fish, which is a bit dumb because obviously they're there. The bit that I really hate is when you get that seaweed. Yeah, I suppose it is seaweed that kind of like catches around, that brown sort of like stuff like tagliatelle, but it's that big that kind of like wraps itself around. That's when I get a bit freaked out, and I kind of think I'd rather be in a swimming pool.
Would be too much, could you?
If I was attacked by a shark,
Right.
I would scream.
Oh, come on.
And I'd be dead.
I don't think you could do much, could you?
But it depends. If you had me by the leg, I'd be able to scream and scream. But if you had me on my throat...
We were just talking about that now, that there's somebody on the news that somebody being attacked by a shark.
Crocodile.
A crocodile.
In
A
Australia.
crocodile in Australia. I'm just going now.
Most pet shops are quite loud because they have birds in and they're always sort of singing, if you can call it singing. And there's lots of cages. And you sometimes, if you can put your finger through the bar and tickle what's ever inside like a rabbit.
At the end of the day, most of it's the U factor, the R factor, That's, oh, look at that, Cute little kitten.
It's awful to think that we're sitting there waiting for somebody to pluck us out of the air and take us home and keep us forever, But at the same time, I'm never brave enough to go and make the first move and go up to somebody and say, right, you, how about taking me home and looking after me and loving me and cherishing me?
I think, go for things that are obvious. Dogs and cats and the like. I mean, there's all sorts of people. They have things in their bathrooms and all sorts, don't they? Alligators and that sort of thing. Wouldn't have it in my bathroom, I can say. Nope, wouldn't.
He's called Chester, and he is very long when he stretches himself out. If you annoy me, his eyes sort of widen a bit.
I don't think that I'm awful looking. I think I'm all right looking. People always say that I've got very open, honest eyes. So I think that I would be pretty nice to have around and have hanging about the place on the sofa.
I don't know. A lot of old nonsense, I think, really. So, I mean, you need to spend proper amounts of money on things, but you see some of these dogs that people have about. No, I don't think you need to spend a lot on them.
Dog toys, well, they love running and fetching things, so we've got balls on ropes, and lots of dogs, especially the smaller dog, like a Yorkshire Terrier, likes a squeaky toy. That's a high-pitched one, or just for a laugh, we've got ones that'll go.
We went to a friend's last weekend, and this poor little hamster's in this wheel thing for its exercise.
Well, it had a little car. It was a Volkswagen Beetle with a wheel. in the middle, and it actually, by working the wheel, moved across the carpet.
Poor old hamsters running round on the wheel. Why do they do it? Because they're as daft as a 2-bob watch, I should think. Them poor bloody hamsters thinking, I could get out of here in about 2 minutes flat. And then they find out they ain't going nowhere. Just like the rest of us. We're all on the bloody wheel ourselves, aren't we?
Dogs are just stupid. People go on about how...
stupid as stick insects. Stick insects are the most stupid creatures in the world. I mean, look at me pretending to be a log, isn't that clever? Oh, I'm a little twig, isn't that great? I mean, dogs are far better than that.
I think cats make good pets.
There's quite a lot of cats with bad breath, though. That's what I don't like about them.
Cats?
Yeah.
I like stick insects. I once got a train journey with me and 2 stick insects. It was brilliant.
I know, and I very much like a stick insect, but not as a intellectual conversationalist. I mean, hey, have you seen my log impression? Yes. You know, doesn't go much further than that, does
No,
it?
stick insects don't have a developed vocal tract. That wouldn't happen. I think, though, dogs are stupid.
I don't really like snakes. Spiders I can live with, but I've never touched a snake. I almost did, but no, they're not our thing.
I feel isolated. I feel alone. I think I can hear something scraping on the outside, and I don't know what it is. I'd like there to be someone here with me.
Snakes can be dangerous to other pets. They can swallow things whole, and they do eat mice and small rodents whole without chewing.
Now, I like the furries and the tortoises because I've got tortoises. I love tortoises, but they're still asleep at the moment.
Oh, sleep's really important to me. Yeah, I mean, I go through passages when I need to have a lot of it, and it's just good. I mean, man, come on. It must be, you know, in the top 3 of everybody's list. Your bed, you know, I mean, top 3, top 2, top 1, maybe the top. My bed, wow.
Sometimes the pet, when people are looking, will actually do something to say, I'm the one you want. Here I am. You want me? I'll have me.
It's like I've been sitting on a bench with all of my friends. It's like being at a dance, one by one, somebody's come up and taking them away. And then there's just me.
How much am I worth? I would find it very hard to put a value on that.
On a good day, I would say that I'd be worth a fair lump sum.
Do I say £1 million or do I say £10 million?
I don't think I'm that valuable. I think I'm worth about £142 probably.
At the end of the day, if you're the right person, you can buy me for 10p.
But the rest of the time, on days when maybe I'm feeling a bit grumpy and I'm sort of having an off day with people and I'm not in my normal friendly state of mind, I wouldn't pay a penny for me. I'd throw me back and choose another one.
I want a price ticket on myself.
No, not at all.
No,
I wouldn't even sell you.
I wouldn't sell you either.
Ah.
I don't know if I worry about being left on the shelf, because at the end of the day, I've come through sort of many years of being on my own and having a really great time. And I think, well, if I was on my own, I'd just continue to live life. And if it was at this standard, I wouldn't have a lot to complain about.
I've sort of been on and off the shelf, as they say, really. There's been a time when I thought I was on the shelf, and then I got took off again.
Everyone gets rejection in life. When you're younger, you're more able to actually cope with that, I think, and bounce back. And you're not on the shelf for long.
I know that it will be okay in the end, but I am very pessimistic. I think it's going to take a long time before I get out of here.
The icing on the cake would be the partner or the companion who would be there with me for the next number of years.
And so I'm nicely happy now in my life, having been took off the shelf, and that's like a nice family that I'm in now, and that's very comfortable sort of feeling.
Jill has a tendency, most mornings actually, to claim that at some point during the previous night I farted very loudly.
snakes and spiders are more scared of you than you are of them.
I have a phobia of being shut in an incredibly small space. You know, like my ultimate. I mean, the idea of being buried alive with no space in a box. Oh man.
Your brothers and sisters and your mum and your dad?
I don't get on with my sister very well.
No, I don't get on with my brother, and I don't get on with my brother at all.
But I get on with my mum and dad fine.
I sometimes get on with my mum and dad. They sometimes get really grumpy.
Introduce yourselves, first of all.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Keith.
We're brothers.
Brothers, man, by blood, not by just the name. As brothers go, he's cool. As his unique ways, let's say. You know?
Right.
As everybody does.
Oh, your family makes you feel it's a roller coaster of emotion, isn't it, really? I mean, some things are really joyous moments, and others are fraught with desperation. It's the roller coaster ride of life, isn't it, really?
That and my wife and my daughter and I live.
Monica's got 2 children as well, but hers live one
at home and one in Reading. I've got a son in Reading.
How did you feel when they sort of left the...
Well, he left the nest. He didn't come back, really.
Is that one of yours as well?
Yeah.
I've got 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. And then I've got a boy and girl which are twins. And then
I've got twin girls, and they've got
3
grand.
4 each.
4 children each. So I've got 8 grandchildren from my daughters.
And at the minute I've got 3 grandsons, and I'm hoping for a granddaughter soon, I hope.
Well, he's got 5, and I've actually got here. I've got Jasmine, I've got Ken, Charlotte, and Matt, and I have another 3 in Swindon. So I've got J. Jerome and Jessica in Swindon. Yeah. So I've got 7.
Yeah.
7 meals to get at.
Yeah.
Plus our own. Plus I travel backwards and forwards in between both, like.
I can see that. Day in the morning, it is sunny.
Is it?
When I stand on my brother's toe, by accident, he tries to hit me in the head on purpose. Like this. Oh!
I normally give me a little punch, and I give my daughter a little hug. And that's it really, and the sort of majority of them rough and ready, and they normally give us a bit of a punch back or a bit of a squeeze sort of thing, and it's just great to see them.
My eldest daughter will be 68 this year.
Hubie's.
And she is beautiful.
Is she?
Still beautiful.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, every child is beautiful to their mother.
Oh, no. I've got 3. I wouldn't say they're all beautiful.
Oh.
You can't tell what your children will look like when they're inside there, can you? I mean, what's going to come out? Well, you know there's going to be a bit of you and a bit of her, and you hope what comes out is going to be the best bits of you and the best bits of her. And if they could only come out showing the best bits of both of you, then they'd be better than you, wouldn't they? That's what we want. We want all our children to be better than what we are now.
So how many chicks have you hatched then, do you think, over the years?
Hundreds and hundreds. Hundreds, haven't we?
And they must be so tiny.
It's amazing.
Well, no, that's huge. I was so surprised, yes. I mean, the eggs was about so. And it came out huge.
Wow. You just collect them,
and once you start, yes, more appears and more you get.
When the baby was born, I looked at the baby, and it was all wrinkly and old looking. And I thought, ooh, what is that?
My son's diabetic, and one day he gets highs and lows, and one day he was really depressed with his diabetes, and he kept saying to me and my wife, how come I'm diabetic? My sister's not. So I tried to cheer him up. I says, well, you know what it is? I says, I'll swap you any time you want. I'll have your diabetes and you can have my Geordie accent. And you know what he said? He says, no, he said, I'd rather be diabetic than have a Geordie accent. I said, what, you're joking, aren't you? I said, well, it's great, isn't it? It's great.
He's very intelligent. He knows everything you're telling him. That's what I like mostly about him. You can tell him to go to his bowl and he'll go and he'll pick out a treat himself and he'll wander off and he'll eat it. And whatever you tell him, he'll understand sometimes better than a human. And he never, ever does it on the pavement.
Oh, go for that. I say I do.
Twinkle little star.
Yeah, you know that song, do you?
Baba black sheep.
No, what's the other one? Twinkle little what?
Hide your any wall.
What's that big thing in the sky?
Yes, sir, 3 bags full. One for the
You
master,
can't shut her up when she gets going.
one for the day.
They just show that they love you. It's like all of them, isn't it? They all got characters and they all show that, well, they rely on you to look after them, obviously. And I only got to say, come on bedtime, and they'll come and they follow me. They go for walks.
Really?
Yes, walk around the fields, walk, they just follow me.
I've been very lucky to have children. Well, so many.
2 husbands you've had, haven't you? Or 3?
4 children.
How many husbands?
Oh, that's not the point. Nobody asked me how many husbands.
Yes,
you
but
will bring that up, which is
Are all
very
the children
wrong.
to one
No.
husband?
That's a subject that is private.
Ah. No. I've only had 2.
Oh, you've had 2? Well, I've only...
Children?
Oh, I thought you said husbands.
No,
then.
no.
I couldn't have a better dad. I couldn't look up to anybody. I couldn't see anybody telling me how to live my life any better than the way my dad did. And I hope I can be just as good to my own children. I try, but I don't think I can be. I don't think anybody could be as good as my dad. Oh, my dad's my hero, without a doubt, definitely.
That's it.
Yeah? Well, thanks a lot, mate.
Right here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, only varies.
Mummy?
Yes?
It's gone.
Okay, man. Can I have an ice cream?
Mum?
Yes.
Want ice cream?
Do you?
Yes. I want the one with that strawberry stuff nibbled over from the ice cream man.
What, a 99 you mean?
Yeah.
With a flake?
Ooh, I could perhaps manage one of those. A rainbow one.
If there's something that annoys you, something that gets on your nerves, something that is the one thing that sets you off, that is a pet hate.
Describe communication.
What is communication? Go on. You don't have to start so much. We do speak the language of it.
You got the easy bit.
Let's do the question again.
I remember the question.
I mean, the only thing that you can say about me is I speak lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, and sometimes you can see this in the faces of the people that are around that I don't let them speak now.
You're Australian, not Australian, I know. No, what a Irish or French, I don't know what he was, I think. He come from a bloody broad, but he said a job of what he's bloody talking about half of the time, but he could speak a little bit of Asian, but not a bloody lot.
I just can't imagine that from an UG we've got, such a, like French, for example. French is very sophisticated, isn't it?
Well, French isn't actually as sophisticated as UG, if you ask me, but there you go, that's my view of the French.
There are people that say that the French, aren't very sophisticated, and there's other people that say they are, but an UG, if the French language came from that, it's a bit surprising, really, isn't it?
It would be Oog, wouldn't it?
No.
There's a thing I'm you guys where everybody's called man, even a woman. If you're talking to a woman, you're going, "Alright, man." I mean, if I'm talking to my mother, I'd say woman. But I mean, that's my mother. My mother's not a man. But so doing here, I've said it a couple of times, and it just slipped out. I'll say, if it's a woman or somebody pushes in, they say, "Who man? Who you pushing?" Say, "I'm not a woman. I'm a man." I say, "Now you're a woman, man."
Urban is the new language. Look at bling. Who's saying bling now? Everybody! Bling!
It's not just about the language, though. There's body language, isn't there? Which is
there is body language, I suppose, which is universal.
And I can tell by looking at you right now that you're looking a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous. And even though I speak the same language as you, I didn't need to know that in order to tell that.
Would you agree that 80% of communication is non-verbal?
Just thinking about that one.
Well, you were looking at me then and communicating. You were frowning a little bit, so you were communicating, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And I read your face to say that...
Yeah, I guess you could say, 80% is non-verbal.
Yes. Well, it's 100%, isn't it, if you're a North Sea diver mending oil rigs?
I'm just not biting.
As far as communication goes when we're working sheep, it can either be vocal or whistle. So, to go left, and it goes round to the right, and that turns the sheep to the left. And that's how it works. It's communication between three different animals.
Now that's a cuckoo. That's a cuckoo that you can call a cuckoo in with that. That does that call twice, and then you have to wait, and the cuckoo that will reply back to you, and then you do it again twice, and that will bring the cuckoo all the way as close as you want. That you can call them in, and then of course you shoot them.
You know when a donkey's unhappy. If a donkey's bad-tempered, it will lay its ears right down like that. Bad-tempered. When they're happy, their ears are usually up or slightly forward like that. But if they're laid right down like that and they're swishing their tail like she is now, that's showing aggression. But their ears have got to be down, right flat on their body to show aggression. But normally they're straight up again, like hers, look. They're straight up. Or just flop tape to the side. Like that, they'll flop them out to the side. You think they're up, but then they'll flop them out. But they're all up, pricked up, looking happy, like that. But that's the only thing, you got to watch a donkey when she lays her ears right down like that.
Don't whisper things, and defeats the object.
Do you have like communication issues between you?
No, we just don't talk.
It's all about knowing.
I tend to be quiet, don't I? I don't do much or say much if I'm...
Or you go, if you're angry, Wayne, you go, You always know, and I say to Paul, oh, Wayne's got a grumpy on.
On your nose, look, see? Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it?
I always thought they were being aggressive.
No, that's showing affection. Now that's something you should put your hand in her mouth, look.
I make noises usually in the place of words.
What kind?
You make up loads of
just
baby talk.
Yeah, in the middle of things and things like that. But you understand, don't you, Bab?
And you say things like, I banged my knee.
Alright.
I wouldn't recommend everybody to do it, but no, you put your hand in your mouth. Yeah, show her your tongue. Let's see your tongue. Come on. Show me your tongue. I want to see your tongue. There he is. Look, I got him. Come on, I want to see your tongue. There you go. There's your tongue.
They don't mind you doing that?
No, I wouldn't recommend him. No, I wouldn't say you do it, but no, they just trust me. You say that's what it is.
Well, you need communication. I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't speak the language or you don't speak because you are blind or you don't hear. I mean, it's something you need. something you need to live. You need to communicate. You need to communicate with someone. Something you need. Always you need. There's something you need, or something someone needs and needs to communicate with you. So it's something really. It's really important. The communication is something.
You have to be positive. You have to talk. You must love one another. You must understand. You must communicate. You must read books.
Yeah, real man. And we out. Peace.
Yeah.
Shut up, Brian. Okay.
You know, I've been like that. I've been cut like some people cut me like that. And you know, why are you speaking so bloody fast? And just ain't so you talking too loud today. I can't hear what you've been talking about. Then you've got the trouble. You should turn around and you must be bloody deaf then.